Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today I'm going to talk about my biggest insecurity. So if you would like to see one of the hardest videos I've ever recorded, then just stay tuned. But before we get into it, check out my website lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. These are my best sellers. So the link is down below. Don't forget to check it out. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. This is gonna be a very hard thing for me to talk about because, like I said, it is one of my biggest insecurities, and it's not something I really talked about. Honestly, it's something I just realized like how much it affected me maybe like a couple of years ago. So I have been kind of like coming to terms with it, honestly. So me talking about it is gonna be like, you know, this is sort of like a video diary in a way, I guess. So I guess I should just start by saying what my biggest insecurity is. And it's always been my body / my weight. This is my experience. I know a lot of people will probably look at me and be like, Pinky, you're crazy. A lot of times when I would tell people that I want to lose weight, they'll be like, oh, you look good. You don't need to lose any weight. You don't need to. And that's kind of dismissive. I want y'all to know that's kind of dismissive because this is something I'm actually dealing with, and this is something that really actually affects me and emotionally, and it makes me upset, and you just don't understand. Maybe like ever since I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9, I've always felt kind of self-conscious about my body. Now, if I can find some pictures that can show you how skinny I was, I'll try to insert them. But I was just super duper skinny. I was like kind of frail looking, I guess, like long limbs, very skinny. And people will always like point that out to me. And I don't think, you know, most of the time it was people that loved me, you know what I'm saying? People that cared about me, they will always point it out like, oh, you need to put some meat on your bones, or you super skinny. Kids my age, their favorite thing to do was like put their like finger around my wrist, which you still can kind of do, but they'll put their fingers around my wrist and like show how skinny I was. You so skinny I could fit my whole fingers around your wrist, I guess. Like I had really grabbable wrists and arms because I was just so skinny. And you know, people would make those little comments, offhand comments, and it just made me feel a little bit self-conscious. And like, I don't feel like the comments were malicious, but it made me view my body in a negative way. So I don't want anybody to like feel bad for saying things like that to me, but I just want people to be aware that when you say things like that, it can make people look at themselves in a negative light. And I know in the Black community, you know, the standard of beauty is like a big booty, small waist. You know, before it became mainstream, before it became like the plastic surgery fad that it is now, you know, before the Kardashians and all them made it popular, that's what it was back in the day. So when I would go to church, because I went to a white school, so when I would go to church and I would see like the other Black girls there, like the teenagers, I'm like, I can't wait till my body looks like that. Oh, I want a butt so bad, please. I wanted boobs too, by the way. That never happened. But I just wanted to feel out. When people told me I should get some meat on my bones, that's exactly what I wanted, but it just never happened. I was just super skinny, and I was just naturally skinny, and no matter how much I ate, nothing was gonna change that. So growing up, I was kind of self-conscious about my body, but it really became really bad in the 6th grade. And because I had a bully in the 6th grade. And you know, everybody's had a bully, everybody's been teased about something. And this boy used to tease me about everything, like from head to toe. He used to go in on things that I didn't even know were flaws. He would just tease me endlessly, like to the point where I dreaded walking through the door every morning. Like he would bring other people in and have other people laughing at me too. Like he teased me so bad about how skinny I was, and like how skinny my legs were, and how they looked like toothpicks, how I looked like a walking what did he say? I looked like a walking stick figure. You know, when you think back on it, it's stupid, but back then, like, it really hurt my feelings. And a part of the reason why it hurt my feelings from him in particular is because I low-key had a crush on him. It's crazy. I had a crush on, like, can you imagine having a crush on somebody and like really thinking they're attractive and then them turning around and like basically telling you how unattractive you are? So it really messed with my head. Before, that was an all-white school and we were some of the only black people in there. So for him to just be like, you know, choosing me out of all people to be going off on and teasing and being rude to, it was just, it didn't feel good. He teased me so bad about my legs that I covered my legs. For like a couple of years, I refused to wear like dresses that would show my legs or shorts or anything that would show my legs, because I wanted to be hidden. Like, I wanted to disappear. I didn't want people looking at me at all because I just felt so unattractive. Sometimes my grandma would buy me some things and be like, you're going to wear this. Like, she literally had to force me to wear like a skirt or a dress that showed my legs, and she didn't know why I didn't want to wear it, but I was just that self-conscious about my legs. The other thing that he pointed out that I didn't even realize was a flaw was how long my toes were. Now, mind you, I wore a size 10, so I know I had big feet, especially in the 6th grade. That was super big. I finally grew into them, thank God. But back then, my feet were big. I looked like La Cienega Boulevard is by the feet. You know, I always felt like I was kind of cute, you know, even though I was nerdy, but I had huge feet. And so he pointed out my toes. He was like, your toes are as long as my fingers. And like, he would have everybody laughing and everything. So I covered my toes. I didn't wear sandals for like a couple of years. Like real life, I didn't even show my toes. I wore all flats, all closed toe shoes. I didn't want anyone to see my feet. Anyway, so my self-esteem was like at an all-time low, like during that time. And I feel like for most people in junior high, that's the case. Like, that's probably one of the most insecure times in your whole life. And you know, I would just come home and cry, y'all. Like, I would just, I want to say it was almost an everyday thing. I would just come home and cry because I felt so ugly. I felt like I don't know, I just didn't like the way I looked. I also wanted to make it clear that my grandmother and my mom, they will always tell me how beautiful and smart I was, but you know, I really wasn't trying to hear it at the time. So by the time I went to high school, I went to a black school, and there was a time where I was starting to get more confident. I was always really smart, so I was just really focusing more on that. Like I told y'all before, I would never have shown my legs. I would never have worn sandals. At some point, I was just like, you know what? I'm about to show my legs, and I don't care who says anything about it. And I'm going to show my toes, and I don't care what nobody has to say about it. And didn't nobody even care. Like, didn't nobody even care that I would show my legs? But it meant a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? That was like a milestone for me. That was a big deal for me because I genuinely was ashamed of those things. So when I finally was able to show that, it kind of did wonders for my self-esteem. So by the time I graduated, I had a lot more confidence. So going to college really did help me grow my confidence even more because I was being independent, staying on top of my academics. I was pretty much just as skinny as I was in high school. I probably could wear the exact same stuff I wore in high school, but I had embraced my body. Now I just dress my body, not for the body that I want, but for how I look. And just saying, I don't care if you do think I'm not cute because I don't have a butt. Plenty of people like the no butt look. You know what I'm saying? That's really when I developed my style and learned how to dress and do my hair different ways. So, you know, when it came to, like, I might have had insecurities in other areas, but with my body, that's probably the most comfortable I've ever been in my own skin as far as my body. That lasted up until a couple of years after I graduated from college, and my metabolism slowed down. So mind you, during that whole time, Pinky could eat whatever she wanted to eat and would never gain a pound. And you know, what I had looked at as a curse back then was actually a blessing because I never gained the freshman 15 or anything like that. I pretty much stayed within the same weight range. But yeah, a couple of years after I graduated, my metabolism definitely slowed down. And I think it's because I wasn't as active as I was in undergrad and college, because, you know, walking across campus all the time, that's like exercise without you trying. But I was living a more sedentary lifestyle. I had moved back home, so I was eating a lot more. It was a lot more in the house to eat. It was always something to eat in the house. And so I gained weight. And I went from like 125 to like 160. And I'm not quite sure how quick it happened, because it really did sneak up on me. It was like, I really felt like one day I woke up and I couldn't fit none of my pants. I couldn't fit nothing in my closet. And I just was like, what happened? And I was in denial. Like, my grandma and my uncle had been telling me, oh, you picking up a few pounds there. I'm like, please. I was still in that mindset that I could eat whatever I want and never gain weight. I scoffed at the thought of working out. Like, I was like not thinking about that, but like the reality hit me at once that, dang, you really have gained a lot of weight. And like 35 pounds. And yeah, when that reality hit me, immediately those same insecurities that I felt as a young girl, those same insecurities rushed back. I felt the exact same way. Like, I did not want anyone to look at my body, and I just wore oversized everything. I wore oversized sweaters, jackets, pants. I got a bunch of clothes from Goodwill that were like even too big for, they were bigger than what I actually was, because I just wanted to camouflage everything. I didn't want anyone to see how much weight I had actually gained, because I was so embarrassed. And a lot of you out there probably be like, Pinky, you're not even that big. I wish I was that size. 160 is not bad. People tell me I carry my weight well, so you really can't even tell. But I know, you know, when I look in the mirror, I see it. And when I put on my clothes and my pants don't button, I know it. And that's not, it's not a good feeling for me. So I really became kind of depressed about it. Like, it made me want to eat even more. One of my family members would always point out how much I had gained weight. And like, I want y'all to know, fat shaming, it does not help. It does not work. Because the person would tell me I was fat all the time, and it only made me want to eat more. Like, it literally, like, I know they were just trying to help and they're trying to like push me to lose the weight, but it did nothing but made me want to eat more. My grandmother always cooked healthy food. So when I went to college, I developed terrible eating habits. You know, I ate fast food all the time. I mean, chicken wings at 12 o'clock in the morning, Sonic, Zaxby's, Taco Bell, like the worst of the worst. The worst fast food. And then I feel like whenever I, you know, realized I gained weight and I started overeating, I ate even worse. Even worse. Like, I would have stashes of Snickers, fun size Snickers. I had a stash of fun size Snickers, honey buns, cheese danishes. Oh, I love cheese danishes. What else? Anything sweet and bready, I overdose. Like, I literally, because I was stress eating. I was eating because I was unhappy. I just stuffed my face. I knew it was terrible. I knew it would only make me gain more weight, and I just did it anyway. I couldn't help myself but to just eat and eat and eat and eat. And to the point where I told y'all, one of my family members kept telling me I was fat. So she told me one day, and I was already beating myself up about it, and, you know, being my toughest critic. And so when she said something about it that last time, I literally broke down into tears. Like, I was bawling. I was, I know. Like, the only way you'll actually turn your life around as far as losing weight and, you know, changing your body to where you want it to be by working out and eating healthy, you have to do it. You have to be ready. You have to motivate, because you're the one who have to motivate yourself to do that every day. You can't do it for anyone else. You have to do it for yourself. And so eventually one day I just woke up and I already had a gym membership, and I just decided I am going to lose this weight. I am going to eat healthier. I'm going to stop, you know, doing this to my body, because you know, I am essentially hurting my own self. I also want to mention that I have, you know, things that run in my family like high blood pressure. And so on top of me just wanting to be healthy and wanting my body to be, you know, where I want it to be, I want to also be healthy because I don't want to be at risk for a lot of things that run in my family. And if I can prevent that, I will do that. Just started going to the gym every day, at least 5 times a week, like going hard every single day. And I wouldn't like do anything extra at the gym. I would just go walk. I started off just going walking for 30 minutes every single day on the treadmill. And so I would push the speed up, you know, progressively as time went on. And then when it came to eating, I limited the amount of bread I ate. I limited the amount of sugar to just like fruit and like natural things like that. Tries to eat as many vegetables as I can. I cut out red meat. That really helped. I saw a big difference when I cut out red meat. So basically I just ate, you know, chicken, turkey, fish, things like that. Mind you, I can't remember the timeline of this at all, but earlier this year I lost like 15 pounds and I got down to 145. And so I was so proud of myself. I took pictures. I was so like, I was happy because I actually worked hard to achieve a goal. Somebody who, I hated the gym. You have never caught me in the gym like a few years ago. I completely changed my eating habits, my lifestyle, as far as all that went. I was so happy, you know, proud of that, right? Then C19 happened and I wasn't able to go to the gym, and it kind of like really threw a wrench in everything I was doing, because I had a whole routine going, and so there was some things going on in my personal life as well that threw a wrench. But on top of that C19 shutting everything down, it really like, it just put everything to a halt. And so being locked in your house every single day with food was not good for me. I wasn't really able to get out and like exercise and do this and do that. So I completely relapsed. And when I relapse, I go all the way. For whatever reason, I can't just, you know, cheat a little bit. You know, when I'm on my journey, yeah, I can cheat a little bit. One day I can cheat. But when I have in my mind that I'm going to just fall off the wagon, that's exactly what I do. I went exactly back to those old habits that made me blow up in the first place. So I posted on my Instagram the other day this post, and I was just talking about how, you know, I've been beating myself up about gaining the weight again. And a lot of people were very encouraging. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who was very encouraging to me and really reached out to me and gave me some really good health tips, really good fitness tips, and really was letting me know I looked amazing the way I am. And, you know, just telling me, you know, it's all about loving your body. It's okay to get healthy, but make sure, you know, you still love yourself no matter what. And, you know, I was kind of slipping back into where I was before, but now I see it for what it is. I have a treadmill now in my house, so that's my favorite way to exercise. So I've been getting on the treadmill every day since I made that post. I've been trying to eat healthier, doing exactly what I was doing before. Limit the sugar, limit the bread, eat more vegetables, eat more fruit. Just, you know, put myself back on at least that routine. And while I still am very like not happy with what I see in the mirror, I still look in the mirror and I just try to embrace it even though I don't like what I see. You know what I'm saying? I love myself, trust me, I love myself, but loving this extra role that I have, that's difficult for me. That's difficult, and I'm still struggling with it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm still struggling with it. Sometimes I look at it, I'm just like, Sometimes I look at it and I can't stand it. It makes me feel like that little girl all over again still. And that's why I want to make this video, to let y'all know where I'm coming from when it comes to my weight and like how I feel about my body, and you know, me still being a little bit uncomfortable with it. And this is not the easiest thing for me to do. So because sometimes I get so down on myself that I don't want to get up and go work out, or I do want to eat. I want to stop by Krispy Kreme when the light is on and go get some donuts. You know what I'm saying? This is not easy. It's difficult still, but I just want y'all to know, if you're dealing with that, you're not the only one dealing with it. Have you ever had insecurities about your body? Down below. Also, let me know some of your fitness tips, or you know, healthy eating tips. I've loved the tips that y'all have given me so far. One of my favorites is someone told me to drink a bottle of water when you feel hungry, and that way it can kind of curb your appetite and you won't eat as much as you would have. That's been working really good for me. So shout out to y'all, shout out to whoever gave me that tip. I'm sorry I can't remember at this moment, but that really did help me. So really, I would really love to hear your tips. And also just let me know how you felt about this video down below. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.